We're diving deep into the heart of Botania, where we'll transform simple flowers into automated manufactories and unlock the secrets of Terrasteel. Coming up. Hey, welcome back everybody, it's Shino. And we're back in All the Mods 9 to the Sky. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. B area. We are still working on the automation process for this. I've not come up with an elegant solution at this point, but I have come up with a partial solution. So I am going to be, I do have two of the phytogenic isolators over here, and they're working on the honey essence. I don't have them upgraded yet. This just kind of came to me. So I've kind of done a little bit of revamping here to try to get things to fit in the way I want it to. So I'll be, now that I have the honey essence going on, I can automate the manufacture of honeycombs, honey blocks, etc. To augment what we're getting out of these. So next step, I've got to work on automating, emptying these out and getting all that stuff over here. Again, goal is I don't want to bring the AE2 system over here. I want to create a non-AE2 system for automating all of the bee stuff. So that's my challenge that I've set up for myself. So I want to do this without using AE2. So over here at the island of Dr. Moreau, let's take a look at it. I did, as I said, I was going to change out the blocks here, so we're not looking at the bricks here anymore. I like the way that looks, and added in some gravel and andesite and such going around. Now, I have mentions for several episodes about ways of being able to turn this farm on and off as needed. And duh, me, I haven't been thinking about it. Freaking redstone lamps. Why didn't I think about that? Gosh. Anyways, yeah, this works. So I can actually flip on these redstone lamps. I need to automate those getting kicked on and off. So I can just have one switch for it. You'll see I've got the Vitalik source links over here from Ars Nouveau, and they're filling up the jars, and these fill up like super fast. This is going to be our primary source manufacturing for the series as we need it for the crafting in Ars Nouveau. Also added in a little bit of a change here to the collection system. I wanted a salvaging table to be in between all of this. So this is the main end from the farm. The items that can go into the storage controller do go into the storage controller. Everything else that can be salvaged goes over here. And if it can't be salvaged and it can't go in storage controller, it just stays here for me to kind of deal with as I see fit. Those salvage components then get kicked out to this oak diamond barrel with a stack upgrade on it. And that's where we'll start collecting the apotheosis items from the salvaging table. And then the loot bags, they come up here. They're hooked up to the storage controller with their link up to here. And then they kick out of the clicker machine, and then they go into here for me to deal with as we see fit. The rest of the items are coming over here. So now we are collecting the diamonds, the gold, a few other items that are coming out of those, just so we've got them in one spot. Cool. I also was able, since I was able to shut this thing off, I was able to go in and add additional upgrades to the Mob Masher. So now we are working on a full set of 10 on the sharpness, which is going to help dispatch them a little bit quicker. Down here in the workshop, you'll see we did start moving the molecular assemblers and the crafting area down here into a flower. This is going to work out a lot better. We actually have 32 channels dedicated just for this. So we're going to put all the crafting recipes that we're ever going to need into there. This is going along well, and I believe these are all maxed out at 99.5%. Yep, these are all maxed out. So we are getting successes pretty much every time through. And every time it goes through, we start making another nether star. Now, these are not real fast, but we don't need them to be really fast, because if we take a look at our nether stars, you can see we're up over 3,300 nether stars. I think we're doing okay with that. And then one problem that I did find with kind of something I had set up back here is I had planned on these two areas, the clay and the endstone, and I was going to kind of rely on them to get backstuffed into their drawers. So you'll see now I have a void upgrade on this one, but I don't have a void upgrade on the clay. So the problem I had created is I was using one modular router for pulling the product from this chest for the end stone and from this barrel for the clay. And the problem was is when the clay got back stuffed, it started building up inside the modular router and it would never allow for the end stone to be pulled over. So I started running out of end stone over here for the sifting unit. So I just added another modular router up here and just have this one dedicated just for clay. So clay's backstuffed in the drawer right there. It's backstuffed in the router. It's backstuffed in the barrel. And now everything behind this can backstuff. That's enough about what's been going on between episodes. Today, we're going to start off wading into the mana pools of Botania, and then we'll plunge ourselves in the deep end of Terrasteel automation. So let's get started. For the Botania area, I wanted a new island. So here we go. Created a new island for it. I'm going to continue to work to do a little bit of decoration in here using the pillar red quartz. But I like this. I went ahead and went in with the cherries because I like cherries. And then I decided also to go ahead and connect these two together using a little bit of a waterfall. So created a water feature here, and I'm pretty happy with it. Water cascading down off of it and then traveling into one of the little streams that we had here. Kind of ties both islands together, I think. And I like the way that looks. And you'll see I have been going around and starting to roll down the bottom edges of this island, adding a little bit off of here. So we'll continue to do that between episodes. So let's get started in Botania. There are a few things we need to get together first. We do have the lexicon, and it's broken up into a bunch of different chapters. It kind of tells you, you know, this is on the basics and mechanics, and it kind of goes through everything. This is a good resource that we could use for learning about Botania, and anything that we that is Botania related that we want to find out more about. We can always do the shift and then right click with the manual in our hand, and it'll take us to the chapter and the reference for whatever it was that we were looking at. So that will come in handy. But like everything else, we do have a guide here within All the Mods 9 quest log. And we're going to be using this primarily for working our way all the way through until we get to Terrasteel. Let's get started. We've already talked about that, so we need to go in and make a petal apothecary. Let's add that to the list. Once we get done with that, we're going to need to make our first flower, which is going to be the pure daisy. And then we'll need to get into making the living rock and the living wood. And then we're going to want to find a way to automate that also. And then we're going to need our wand of the forest. And then we're going to need our mana pool. And we're going to be using Endo Flames. I think everybody does that. We're going to be using Endo Flames for it. And then we are going to want to go through to do a mana splitter. And we're going to want mana tablet. That's a good place for us to get started. First thing I want to do is I'm going to need to get some additional flowers in this area. And I'm going to want to have them kind of broken up in an area here. So I'm going to grab, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my configuration tool and my linking tool. We're going to link all those together, and then we're going to click right there, and that's going to lock them all into place. Next thing, I'm going to want some floral fertilizer. This is something from Botania. It's relatively easy to make. I don't think we're going to need a whole lot of it, but I do want to generate some additional flowers here. Like that. And then we're going to go ahead and pop a squad on them, as I say. And we're going to make sure that those all get to the big ones. And then we're going to rinse and repeat here. Cool. We have lots of flowers now. There we go. So we've got those collected. There are ways to automate this, and I may come up with an automation for it. Thinking about putting something in, like putting a floral fertilizer farm into a hyperbox, and then piping out the petals back out here. I don't know if we'll need it though or not. We're going to kind of play around with this and see, because really with Botania, once you get past like a certain point, you really never need these flowers again. And you don't need them like in large quantities. So yeah, I don't know. But for now, just realize that if you need more flowers, so for example, this one I've only got 11 of. If I needed some more of those, what I would do is I would take out like 4 or 5 of these and plant them like that, twerk it out, break it. Same thing. Okay. And then you end up with more of them. So, you know, we had 5, now we got 20. Next tool we're going to need, let's go ahead and get our petal apothecary. And with this, we just need any one of the petals, right? So I'm just going to look at, let's take that magenta one right there. Cool. And so we're going to use this and do that. And we're going to make our petal apothecary. Cool. I'm going to set that down. Set down right there. So the first flower we're going to be making is going to be the pure daisy. We're going to need 4 white petals for that. And then any seed. Now I'm going to grab the water, put the water back in there, right click, and then throw another seed in. There we go. 4. Now we can put these down. Now we just need some plain stone and some wood. Usually what I do is I just always have it here and converted, and then if I use it, then I just replace it. Really, I don't think I've ever automated the creation of this stuff. I mean, it could be done. Probably, yeah, probably with AE2 you could do it. You could probably do it with, you know, anything that's a block placer and a block breaker. Because that's the key. You got to place the block down, and you have to pick the block back up again. Okay, next thing we need to do, let's make our wand of the forest. There's our wand of the forest. We have the physical items needed for crafting, but we also need the mana for crafting. Botania has several different generating flowers that we can use later, but for now, let's just use the tried and true endo flames. Same process. We're going to make sure that's full. We are going to put in our flowers, recipe, and then that. And then I am going to repeat this 22 more times. So what I've got going here is a modular router. It is placed underneath the pressure plate. And then we got the modular router set to a low redstone signal. And then we're using a dropper module. And the dropper says that it's whitelisted for coal. And we're using the up. So every time this command runs, it's going to place a piece of charcoal up on top of that pressure plate. And then when an ender flame catches it and takes it, it'll release the pressure plate and allow the redstone signal to start once more. We're going to get 4 mana pools. And we're going to need mana steel first. So let's, oh, and we're going to need a mana spreader. I didn't mark that down. And then we're going to take one of our mana pools. Set that right there. Let that start filling up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take all those back up. We're going to place them back down. Now that we have a mana spreader, we can go ahead and place these back down. I'm going to do something here. Can I target stone in this one? I can. Can I target oak in this one? Yes, I can. Sweet. Okay, so we'll just let that run. I was trying to think of ways to keep stone and logs in stock over here. And I didn't want to run the A2 system over here. And I didn't want to plant anything over here. This is just passive, so it's not fast. That is, but that's not fast. So, but it didn't have to be, I guess. Worst case scenario, like I said, if I needed to, I could just pop a stack of that over there and pop it over into there, and Bob's your uncle. Let's make our mana steel now. We're going to make mana steel, and then we're immediately going to turn it into the mana steel essence. So we're going to need 4 pieces of mana steel, and these are tier 3 seeds, so we should be able to make them generate on their own seeds after that. So let's make 4 pieces of mana steel. Just need 4 iron ingots. Cool. There we go. That is just going to keep right on making mana steel for us. Just a few seeds over there. I think I did 3. Might have been 5 seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds. Yeah, 4 seeds. That'll be more than enough for what we've got going on here. So that part of it's done. That's the easy part. Now we got to take care of the hard part. We need to get this automated in such a way that we can have coal going over here all the time. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it without, running the EM2, the AE2 system over here. And I think using this ender chest is probably going to be the right solution. So let's jump back over to the workshop. And we'll go down here and take a look at what we've got going on here. So we do have an ender chest that's taking the mana steel that's coming out of here, because that's the only thing being produced in this one. I was out of recipes, but I went, okay, let's do that one, and it's going right into there. So we have a system that is using blue, blue, blue on a channel. So why don't we set up another ender chest like here on the blue, 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 and we can put a exporter on it and have it go to just for coal. All right, there's a slight problem with my design. So if I'm using one ender chest for both of them, basically the coal fills up before you ever get a chance to see, before you ever get a chance to see the mana steel. And with that happening, then you never get the mana steel over here. So we need to change this up, downstairs here. And we're going to knock this one off from here. And we're going to replace it with the black, black, black. There we go. So we got coal coming to here. That's going into there. Mana steel is the only thing that's going to be coming into there now. So yeah, that'll work. All right. So next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start moving the mana over here to this mana splitter. Mana splitter will take the mana that's coming in from that spreader and we'll divide it between the 4 different pools that are adjacent to it. So basically it's going to take the little bit of mana and spread it out over here, but it's going to help us to not overflow quite as quickly as we're doing this. So there is another way that we can move mana around, and that is using a spark. Sparks are like a wireless way of being able to move it around. And we're going to be doing that. So let's go ahead and get 2 more of those. Let's make 1 more. Now we got 2 sparks. Let's go take a look at our quest line. We are moving along here pretty good. Got that taken care of. We do need to make the mana tablet, and that's going to require either a mana pearl or a mana diamond. Mana pearls, mana diamonds, those are pretty easy to do. And just like what we did with the mana steel earlier, we just drop them into there. I'm just going to do it right here. Not quite enough there yet. We do it here. Yeah. Here we go. Mana pearls and mana diamonds. Now let's make our mana tablets. And a mana tablet is another way that you can move mana around. You do have to put the tablet like into that mode right there. And you'll see now it's pointing at the mana tablet. And you can see the mana pools draining out Cool. Now, once we pick this thing back up, we can now take it over to another tablet, another pool, throw it in, make sure it's on the discharge. So you see now it's going into that mana pool. All right, now let's get into the runic altar. The runic altar is going to need a fairly good amount of mana coming into this thing. So I'm going to set it up right there. We're going to use the same mana spreader that we're using right there right now. And we're going to start putting it to there, right? So to do that, we're going to right click on it. And then we're going to click it onto that. So now it's going into the runic altar. The next path we're going to be taking after we get this part done is we're going to be going into making Terrasteel. So we're going to need this agglomeration plate, and that's going to require all of these right here. So we're going to put those all onto our board up here. The way this works is we're going to have to take each one of these items, and we're going to place it on the altar and then put a living rock on it and then hit it with the wand, and then we end up getting, it exchanges all these items for the runes that goes along with it. So let's start gathering this stuff up and get this made. All right, we'll just got to wait for the little timer to go ahead and fill up. That's if you don't have mana going into it, it takes a lot longer. It will even not go at all if you don't have enough mana going. So make sure you have enough mana before you start this process. Throw that on and then right click. And there we go. So now I've got rune, I've got air. I got to do the mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the mana pearl. Okay, I'll be back. And this should be the last one. Oop, get back on there. Cool. So that gives us all the runes. So now we need a block of mana steel and 3 blocks of lapis. And there we go. There's our terrestrial. To make the rest of this, we're going to need 5 pieces of living rock and 4 blocks of lapis. And that goes on top. All right. And remember those sparks that we made earlier. We're going to put that right over that. And we're going to put that over that. And that should then move the mana over there that we need. We're going to find out. Next thing that we need to do is making our Terrasteel. Terrasteel, made on the terrestrial, and it's 1 of each. So we're going to need the mana steel ingot, the mana diamond, and the mana pearl. We're going to need a couple more mana pearls because we can make Terrasteel seeds out of this once we're done. And that's definitely something that we're going to be doing. We're going to get 4 of those. We're going to get diamonds, and we've already got mana steel. Okay, let's see if this works. It's working. All right, there is our first piece of mana steel, Terrasteel. Issue is it does take, we go back and look at the recipe for making this, it takes a lot of mana to do it. And I didn't have enough mana, so I had to go steal some mana from my pools over here. So we're going to have to find a way to increase the mana production here really quickly so that we can get more Terrasteel, because I need 3 more of these, and I think I need half a mana pool per. I think I need a little more fuel coming into this thing, so I'm going to put a stack upgrade, and that should, it's only putting up 1. I thought it would put up, oh, there it goes. It's going to start doing 2 now. I'm noticing like some of these flowers out here aren't getting. So maybe I need to duplicate this one more time over here. Let's try that. See if we can get this this mana ramped up. Yeah, I've duplicated this. So we've actually have two of these stations now that are feeding right into that one mana. And you can see we're up to about a quarter of a tank. So that should be enough to do another one. Give it a shot. It's draining fast. Now, I know something that will help us along with this. Get these flowers. There we go. That is our 4 Terrasteel over here to the workshop. And we should now be able to make our Terrasteel seeds. Those need Supremium. All right. This is not one that will produce a new seed. It's a tier 5. So if you ever need additional seeds for tier 5, you have to go through the crafting process again. We should see some Terrasteel in here. We do. Put you into there. And we're going to give you a couple of upgrades as well. Cool. So that should allow us to gather up to 32,000 Terrasteel ingots. And this is going to let us get up to 262. Probably don't need that. 32,000 will probably be more than enough. All right, I've been playing around here, and I figured out a way to do just like a small ME system over here. We're just using the power gate just to provide that, and there's no disk drive. So the only thing that can be stored over here is the items that are in this storage system. So the storage bus here on top gives the ME access to this area here. Okay, so with that, we've got the formation planes on this side, and they're filtered to do stone and to do oak logs, which is coming out of our energy condensers. So this is creating it out of EMC, which is coming out of the energy collector with a piece of glowstone on top. So it always works. And so really simple. There is 2 formation planes that are filtered to stone, 2 formation planes that are filtered to logs. And the annihilation plane, you can't filter those, but they'll break any block that they can put into their storage system. So if I had a drive, it would just, you know, like that. But since we've only got 2 items in here, and that is the living rock and the living logs, then that is the only thing that the system will break. So you see it breaking right there as these, as we get through these. Now, if we wanted to, we could totally That's funny. Yeah, that'll build us up a little bit. That's funny. Yeah, it's actually because I don't have any acceleration cards in there. Let's see. Let's do acceleration. Let's do 10, 12. Do 4 in that one. Do 4 in that one. Let's get 2 in this one. Oh, you can't do you can't do acceleration cards now. Okay, no big deal. That's fun. Okay. Enough goofing around. Anyway, so that's a nice little contained system there. I don't know if it's nice. I don't know if it's a contained, but it works. It'll work. And so this will allow me to automate that. Now I can use this same little ME system for maybe automating this. Or maybe we can start automating this without using the modular routers. I don't know. Oh, this. Yeah, we could totally do that. Yeah, it'd be cool. All right, I'm not going to put a void upgrade on this drawer. I do want this kind of back stuff. So what will happen is when this gets filled up, it won't have a spot, so the annihilation planes won't be able to break. So these items will just kind of stay in their ready state once they've converted over, and it won't place anything else down. So everything else is going along pretty good. Actually starting to get a really good amount of mana built up here. It is slow coming over this direction, and we could totally speed that up if we went with some lenses. And these are really simple to do. We just need some mana steel and some glass. And this basic one by itself really is not going to do anything. What we're going to need to get is probably, yeah, I'm thinking potency. Yeah, I'm thinking potency is what we want to get. So we'll need a fire rune for that, which I happen to have one. Here we go. That should start moving the mana quite a bit quicker. Again, remember what I want to do is I want to have these all 4 filled up. I dropped this one down to kind of help me start moving some stuff along, because we are running 2 different mana spreaders here in this area, and to one, we were only moving 1 over. So it just stands to reason this would fill up faster. Okay, we're going to let this run for a little bit. Let's jump over to the island. Ooh, that's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, I think I got it sorted out. Not, I have to work on this a little bit more. I think with everything else, it's kind of, you know, not thinking about all the possibilities of what can happen. And so this is one where I didn't think about the possibilities. What happens when you turn off the ignore durability? Yeah, that caused quite a bit of problems there, didn't it? So we've got it fixed now, though. This is doing well, though. I mean, we're up to 127 of the fabric. Mysterious scrap metal. I don't think that really, I mean, you might be able to use it for something, but anyways, we're getting a few items out of here, so I'm just going to let that run. And let's review what we've been able to do. Now, we've got quite a few rewards to accept. You know, we did get it for killing the wither. I forgot to collect that last time. Tips and tricks. We have used Hyperbox. They just gave me 3 levels. You know what? I should pay attention to that. The final mesh. So we now have done everything in the getting started chapter. It is all done now. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Anyways, this is entirely done. Chapter 2, we're going to be making a little more progress in here over the next couple of days. We've actually gone quite a ways into this. We just haven't done, you know, like the marine fisher yet. Apotheosis gear. Talked a little bit about what we're doing here with that. So more to come. More to come on all this. AE2. Now we've done the annihilation plane and the formation plane. So that's pretty cool. Says there's something else here. Oh, I didn't accept the rewards for it. Cool. Project E. We've been able to get the energy collector done. That's good. Power, we have updated to some of the spirited stuff. All right, focus of today, Botania. So lots of stuff done here. We're not going to go through and collect all these rewards, one at a time. We're just going to talk about what we've done. We've moved our way all the way through to Terrasteel. Next thing we need to start doing is opening up the portal so we can start getting some of those items. And then we're going to be moving towards fighting the Gaia. That will definitely be something that needs to be done. There are some tools here that we can get. We may look at those, as time kind of goes on, but they're not my end objective as far as what I want to do. But we still have a lot to do here in Botania, so I'm just going to do just a mass collection of all of that. Just get it all at once. But I'll tell you this much. So doing a little bit of the EMC stuff from Project E did kind of wet my whistle just a little bit. So I think I want to dig a little bit further into Project E in the next episode. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to work our way through all the way down here to get to dark matter. And yeah, once we get to that, then we'll be able to start getting all the modium and the endurium and all this other stuff. And that will be pretty cool. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for spending time with me. This is Shino, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care.